Medicine can be hazardous to your health. Medicines have side effects. Many medicines, we know they have side effects, right? You watch TV and they'll list like a dozen like terrifying side effects that might happen. For liability purposes, they mention these things. For the most part, these horrible things don't happen. But the fact that they can happen, and they have happened to people in clinical trials, indicates that these medicines are toxic substances. They're very dangerous. They're messing around with our chemistry, with our molecules, with our physiology in ways we have no idea, usually at a molecular level where we don't actually see it converted into side effects that physically affect us. But it's doing stuff to us, to our brain, to our bodies, to our liver, to our kidneys, to our heart. It's doing stuff to us, so we shouldn't be taking medications if we don't have to. If there are ways to manage our symptoms, like diabetes or high blood pressure or cholesterol or other issues, if there are ways to address illnesses that we have with non-chemicals and non-pharmaceuticals, it behooves all of us to go down that road to avoid using chemicals as much as possible. If we need medications, okay, they're there. They can be great lifesavers, no question about it. But if you don't need medicine, you shouldn't take it. And if you do need medicine, you should take the least amount that's going to work. You want to start low, real slow. Work your way up so you find the least amount that helps you to manage and cope with your disease, your illness, whatever it might be. If you are taking medicine, be aware of side effects. First of all, you should have a list of your medicines in your wallet or your purse. Okay, if you get into a car accident and you're unconscious, and they come and they want to give you painkillers or some other medicines to help with your blood pressure or something, and they don't know what's already in your body, there could be a drug-drug interaction that could kill you. Okay, so it's really smart to have a list of your medications that you're taking in your wallet, so that if you're unconscious, they'll go through the wallet and they'll see that, oh, she's on these medicines, so we better watch out for this or that. You need to know what medicines you're on. You need to know what they do. So if your doctor says, okay, here's a medicine, take this, and he doesn't explain to you what it is, why you're taking it, what the side effects could be, what the alternatives might be. If he's not doing that, he's not doing his job. And if you're not asking him to clarify this stuff, you're not doing your job for yourself. You're not advocating effectively or wisely for yourself. So you need to ask questions. When you take a medicine, you need to know what the possible side effects are and what you might want to do about them and how serious those side effects might be if you're going to consent to take the medicine. Also, there can be drug-drug interactions as well. So if your doctor says, okay, here, you got a migraine headache, here, take this, and he hasn't looked at the chart to see that you're also taking an antidepressant, and that the migraine medicine and the antidepressant medicine could combine to give you serotonin syndrome, which is an overload of serotonin, which could put you in the hospital and kill you. If he hasn't looked that up, or if he's not aware of that stuff, that can be very dangerous to you. So you need to ask, well, will this medicine you're giving me interact with the medicine I'm getting from my cardiologist or from my endocrinologist or from my psychiatrist? You need to ask these questions. Don't assume your doctor knows what he or she is doing. Don't assume they can read your mind. Don't assume that they remember all the drugs you have been on in the past or are on now. Doctors these days are very busy, very overworked, very overwhelmed, seeing a lot of people, and it's easy to make mistakes. It's easy to like not inform patients, not do the extra work because they want to churn out the patients. But obviously that's a mistake. You need to pay attention for yourself to what's going on. A lot of times people will get a medicine, and then they'll find out like 2 months later that they've got esophageal reflux. They've got this, or it feels like they've got an ulcer or a reflux going on. So that they go to their doctor, their internist, and the doctor gives them like some Pepsid or something to deal with the reflux, right? Not aware that the reflux is caused by this antidepressant that the person got two months ago. So now you got a medicine for reflux, Rather than change the medicine that was causing the reflux, because it's not a real illness, you don't really have a physiological condition. It's an invented condition that was created by this other medicine you're taking. So the best thing to do would be to lower the medicine or get rid of that medicine causing the reflux. But that's not what people do. They don't pay attention. They don't connect the dots. So they give you a medicine for reflux. Then the medicine for reflux happens to like make your joints ache. So rather than stop the medicine for the reflux, which is making your joints ache, they, okay, well, why don't you take this, this anti-inflammatory, or this type of medicine will help with joints aching. You see where I'm going with this? You could be on a half a dozen medicines, and they're all like treating the side effect of one, the side effect of another, the side effect of another, all going back to like the first medicine, which if that had been changed, you wouldn't be on 6 medicines now. You need to pay attention. If things aren't making sense with the doctor you're seeing, get a second opinion. Ask questions of your doctor. Do the research. It's astounding to me. We have this thing called the internet. We have this thing called Google, or whatever search engine you're operating under, where you can ask any question now, and there's like somebody on the planet who's been faced with this already. Probably plenty of people have been faced with this already, and there's like, you're going to get like dozens and dozens, if not hundreds of thousands of responses. It's crazy. It's crazy. I used to do a term paper when I was in school. I had to go to the library and take out books and research, and let your fingers do the walking. Any question has an answer these days, for the most part. And so, but people don't do it. I have people come in and then they'll tell me something. So, well, they'll ask me why, what's the side effect of this, or what could this mean, or I'm glad to tell them. Sure, I'm the expert, but I also tell them, you could just Google this, and you'll get a ton of information. You'll be really well informed. And then when you come to talk to me, we'll actually have a more detailed conversation, because you'll be much more informed in the first place. Your knowledge base will be a lot better, and then we'll have a better starting point to have a discussion. So be more involved. The internet, Google your questions before you see a doctor. Google your symptoms. Have a rough idea of what the diagnosis is before you actually go to the appointment. Then when the doctor says, well, no, I don't think it's that. I think you got Lyme disease, or I don't think you got Lyme disease. Then you can say why you think you do or don't. Our doctors are not infallible, and they're under a lot of stress. And it's really important that you do your homework. You pay attention. It's your life. So you should not assume that anybody knows what's best for you. So that's why you do the research. You ask the questions. Then you can make informed consent. And if you don't need to take medicines, you shouldn't take them. You should find lifestyle changes so you don't have to take medicines. If you do have to take medicines, take them in low doses, the least amount possible. And always, if you have new symptoms that crop up after you start taking medicines, consider the possibility that they're side effects and not new symptoms, and discuss that with the doctor prescribing the medication.